Do you think the existing system of justice and sentencing is fair? Is it functional?
I think that the existing system is the best system that we have in terms of a society, the way our courts work. We are lucky to have the court system that we have compared to many other countries in the world. Does it have its issues? Does it have its problems? Yes, it does. Volume is a huge issue in our system, and the fact that we are so backlogged and so we have a speedy sense of justice because we have to get through those cases makes it difficult. I think that the key to being successful as a judge is to be able to do the job that needs to be done and also to be able to move through those cases, to be able to make sure that everyone in front of you has their day in court, that each case is handled to the best possible solution that can be, and to also keep in mind that you need to get to the next case, because unfortunately that's where we are. So do I see that there could be improvements? Yes. I'm willing to work on those improvements, but do I think that the system we have is functional? I think it's the best we have.
Understanding that we have to operate and work within a system that that we had no control of, forming or making is part of just being part of reality. When you see there's a high incarceration rate for certain groups and things like that, I guess you question whether it's fair. Not understanding the dynamics of what's going on in our community, I think, is a big and a huge issue in regards to those who are serving as our justice. Justice is more than just sitting on top of the bench and just ruling as a pseudo or kind of like a god. You have to understand the community. You have to understand the people who operate within that community. If you're not out there, you can be truly ineffective on the bench. I think that is a definite disadvantage for those who are serving on the bench, acting like they don't know or what's going on in our community. We need judges who are going to get off that bench, get out there in the community, understand what's going on in neighborhoods, so that you can be effective in regard to using the resources, also the people, and understanding the dynamics of what's going on, and being part of that solution, not part of the problem.
Are too many nonviolent offenders being imprisoned in Wisconsin? What alternative programs, if any, do you recommend for nonviolent crimes?
As a prior homicide detective, as a prior violent crimes detective, I like to save room for those who don't know how to keep their hands to themselves. Those who are not able to control themselves to the point where they're going to hurt your family, possibly my family, my wife, my children. So when we look at what we have to use our resources and space for, I'd rather see the ones who are violent in the jails than the ones that are non-violent out. As a prior facilitator for the Task Force on Family Violence, as a prior person involved in a lot of different community organizations, I do understand restorative justice and how we have to be involved in the circle of justice, understanding that we can use ways to make people productive in our neighborhoods. Taxpaying dollars are only used, is a finite resource. We need to be able to have ideas on how we can make people productive and save some of those souls, but also understand that we need to keep the jails there for those who cannot control themselves and hurt those who are trying to make a living, trying to save their family, trying to work hard as a individual living in a community.
I think there is, and I'm going to borrow this phrase from the District Attorney John Chisholm, a way to be smart on crime, and that's something that he's been working on doing since he's been elected as the District Attorney for Milwaukee County, and I think his programs have been effective thus far of trying to target the most serious offenders and to try to place some programs in place at the community level to try to deal otherwise with the very nonviolent first offender type offenses. And I am certainly interested in working with him. He's a supporter of mine. And also I have participated very recently in a restorative justice conference. I'm aware of some of the ideas that are out there, some of the programs that are being started, and I'm willing to work on those. I think that we do need to have different measures for different types of crimes, and certainly look at ways in which we can address nonviolent and first-time offenders and deal with those differently than those more violent offenders that we need to incarcerate.
What would you do to increase public education public education of the local judicial system in schools, with the media, and with the public at large?
Continue to do what I do now.
Okay, let's let Rebecca go first, please. What will you do to increase public education or public awareness, what the circuit court system does in schools, in the media, and with the public at large?
I think that there does need to be public education of what the courts do. A lot of people are glad that they're never in front of a circuit court judge, and that is usually a good thing. But it's something that we do need to continue to do. One of the programs that I've been participating in as the head court commissioner for Milwaukee County has been a program called the Business of the Courts, where we invite members of the local community into the courts to observe the functions of the courts, to be able to hear explanations of what's going on, to sit on the bench actually with a judge. So those types of programs. And when it comes to kids, being out there in the community, teaching kids about what judges do, something that I do. I speak at my kids' school. I participate in the community with the youth that I work with and let them know what it's all about. I have them shadow me and on my job before. And we also do a lot of trainings as people come through the courts. I help to give presentations to school groups all the time about what we do. And I think we need to continue all of those things and think of other ways to let the public know about what we do in the courts.
I think it's important to bring it to the public. Continue to do what I do right now. I'm an area high school and an elementary school motivational speaker, mentoring and being a part of different programs. It's important for people to understand that the judges are real people. The judges are concerned. The judges are there for you. You are in a position, or as a judge, you are to serve the people. The people are not to serve you. And that you take away the scariness when you're outside the courtroom dealing with people in a one-on-one type of situation. One of the things that I was very happy to be a part of the Task Force on Family Violence as a facilitator is that you're part of the solution, not part of the problem. I was as a detective, as a prosecutor, letting people know that I do care and I'm out in the community showing that I care. These are things that are incumbent on individuals who are elected to positions to show that you're out there working with the people, seeing them as in the regular everyday clothes, and that you're concerned on your off days, not in the days when you think that you have to be part of the, getting paid to be out there to, as a paid servant. So I think it's important to have individuals out there who's proactive and responsive to the people's or to the community's needs.